And I think Rice is the most important player in. He's probably one of the first names that you put on a team sheet, in my 100%. Opinion. So Rice, Gabby, and Timber are probably my first three.
Why Gabby?
Yeah, I think. Come on,
no.
Come on, Kenny. I think he's the most improved.
I'll give his reasons.
I think he's the most improved. What I like about Gabby, he wears his heart on his sleeve, doesn't he? He's passionate.
We will miss Gabby more than Saliba if either one got injured right now.
He wears his heart on the sleeve. He's kind of really. He's like a throwback to some of the centre halves that we've had over the past years. You know, he's really passionate. Like when he makes a tackle, even though we're 2-0 up, when he makes a tackle and he stops a goal from being scored, he kind of treats it as if it like really means the world to him. You know,
all action guy, man.
And that's what I like about. He reminds me of how an Arsenal player should be in defence, especially in the centre half, especially in the centre. Yeah.
Why Timber?
Sorry.
Why Timber?
Timber, as I said Timber because he's an out and out fullback for me. Timber. He's an out and out fullback.
Best right back we've had in the Emirates era, 100%
of a fullback. You know, he's good on 1-to-1. He very rarely gets caught behind, and he's the closest. He's probably one of the best fullbacks that we've had in a long, long time. And
he's
now
the best right back we've had in the Emirates era. He's better than Sagno.
Yeah. And now he's improving his game in the attack as well. So, yeah, they're the three for me. Timber,
what about you, TG? Because these are rules, because I know you're trying to break them. You can't have Saka. Right. You can't have Aubameyang.
And you can't have Saliba.
It says from 2020.
Oh, how doesn't Saliba? When did Saliba kick a ball for this football club?
No,
man's coming out. Man's coming out with Havertz.
It's so slow, but played by the rules. Of the game.
Man, never me.
Played by the rules of the game.
I think I'm going to pick the same. Well, to be honest, third I'm struggling. Gabriel Magalhaes, because I've been with that guy since the beginning when he was making those bozo moments and all those things. And I remember some Arsenal fans saying Pablo Mari's better than him. I think Gabriel, whatever people say about Arteta and Arsenal, I think Gabriel Magalhaes, from what he used to be to what he is now, and that kind of period, I think that sums up the thing we went on. So I'd say Magalhaes. It's difficult. Gabriel Magalhaes, Declan Rice, man. Like Declan, it's Rice, isn't it? Rice is just mustard. Like
why Declan? What does Declan give you as a midfielder?
Oh, he makes me feel safe. He protects me. He's got a talismanic figure. It genuinely feels like he's come. If I didn't know he was at West Ham and we bought him, obviously, I'd have thought he would have been here for years. I just think he's captain fantastic type of thing. You're always going to fall in love with those players. You could argue, I don't necessarily believe this, but you could argue us beating Real Madrid at the Emirates with his 2 free kicks is probably the most standout game in European history since we've moved to the Emirates. It might even potentially eclipse when we beat Barcelona for some, give or take. So Gabriel Rice, admittedly, Kenny, the third one is where I'm and ahhing. I want to say Timber. I feel like it's injustice with VAR that I can't include Saliba.
It's up to you. It's nothing to do with me.
You know what? Left field Chase.
Was that?
No, I don't believe that. You know, I was going to say Gabriel Jesus for those first 6 months. I don't believe that.
Can't be doing.
I can't pick a third one. You know, like Gabriel. Gabriel. I said Gabriel Rice. I want to say Timber as well. Like Timber's the only one I'm kind of thinking. A part of me wants to say David. Right? You know what, Raya? David Raya. Actually, David Raya.
Why David Raya? Why David Raya?
Why David Raya? Because we had a better goalie. Like I thought at one point, I'll be honest, I thought Ramsdale was the best goalie we had during the Emirates era. Not that we've had many. Obviously, David Raya has come in. A lot of people didn't really see the vision, myself included. And he's just a steady pair of hands. And yeah, David Raya, man. I'm trying not to have recency bias and try not to pick the same, but we actually haven't. You know what? When you ask me, we're not blessed with that much quality in the Emirates era.
Wouldn't be that goalkeeper if he didn't have a solid defense in front of him, man.
Yeah, no, but then even that, you are right, DJB. How many times has he saved us off his own back, though? I'll be real. Like, he saved us a lot of times. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you can not rate Raya. I don't think he's the best goalkeeper in the world. I definitely think he's up there, like he's top 5 and all that. But yeah, man, I got time for Raya. Raya saved us bare. Like, I hear what DJB said. Like, definitely when you got that defense, it's cool. But there's been many a time where He's bailed us out. Man United last season and a couple of times. I want to say Timber. It's a toss-up between Timber and Raya. I want to give flowers to Ben White, if I'm honest with you, brutally.
It's your show, mate. Do what you have to do.
You know what?
Okay, then, DG.
Rice,
Martin
Odegaard. Martin Odegaard.
There's only 3 players, though. There's only 3.
Yeah,
DG, how about this then, right? Who would you miss at the teams? Who would you miss more at the team, Timber or Raya?
Raya. Because what's the biggest fall off? Timber is Ben White's no Timber, but I can maneuver with White. Respectfully to Kepa, I ain't trying to see even go for us. I'm not trying to see that. So probably that. I hear you, but probably that.
Yeah.
If Timber's not there, of course.
See, that's how I am with Rice. That's exactly how I'm. If you take Rice out of that midfield on a regular basis, we've got problems.
We're scared. Yeah, we've been introduced to something. But I'm gonna give the last one to Odegaard.
What has Odegaard done to move the wheel and make us into a top team?
I mean, there's got to be a correlation with Odegaard signing for us permanently and now us fighting for titles.
No, that's
all right with Mikel Arteta in the Champions League.
I want footballing reasons.
That is footballing reasons. Has he not? He's been the captain when it's been a difficult time.
Explain.
He made his debut for his country at 15 and he's helping Dowman. Like, he's central to the system.
Is that the best you can come up with?
Bro, I didn't say, is that it? You asked me my reasons. Odegaard's probably the most important signing under Arteta.
Odegaard has not been influential enough for me in big moments.
They remember the first year we fought for the title.
When you want a captain to step up in big moments, he's just not been there.
What big games has he not scored in?
Big moments. I'll see, But
of course, in trouble. That ain't Odegaard. On a serious note, I'll probably go the same as DJB. Timber, I think only Sagna can say he's better than you at right back. Rice, because it's Rice.
Boy, 10, I am. I'm holding him to account.
Go on, Kenny. Mind explain the dubious choice. What was Boy 10 going for? Where you been, Boy 10, anyway? I ain't seen you for a while, man.
No, he's been in the chat. I've been watching.
Odegaard's one of the most technically proficient players in our history in the Emirates era.
You know why I went for the same. I went for players, in my opinion, I thought that turned us from a top 4 team into a team that could challenge. And I do think that the presence of David Raya...
You could have said Jesus and Zinni, to be fair. But
don't you think Partey was a bit injury prone, though, Kenny?
You missed Partey can't be there, Kenny. That's horrible.
He missed a lot of games.
Yeah, but what did Partey? When you actually deep it, what did Partey do?
Can I go for it?
We saw 2 years from Partey of consistent fitness.
Can I go for it?
Can I go for it in a couple of good seasons?
Even Jack was probably better than him.
But let me go through my reasons first. The reasons why I go for these players is because I think that they turn us from a team through performances, from a team that is only good for the top 4, to a team that can actually challenge, albeit not win. David Raya, without a shadow of doubt, has basically saved us probably 15 points a season. I don't think that's an exaggeration. I think he's an absolute upgrade in Aaron Ramsdale.
And I didn't even believe that.
Who knew? Timber, as far as I'm concerned, Timber is probably the reason why we're difficult to break down. You think about the team, the defence before Timber.
Oh, we're not getting overloaded on that right-hand side.
Who, by the way, everyone was saying was a left back. How dare you? Calling him a left back. How dare you? You Philistines.
Kenny, can I just interrupt you? I said that we used to get overloaded a lot on that right-hand side. Teams used to overload us, but since Timber's been there, we don't get overloaded so much.
That's what I've gone for.
I think Magalhaes the most underrated of all our defenders.
Yeah, that's what I think. You know why? I went for Thomas Partey. The reason I went for Thomas Partey because it seems people have got short memories about his performances.
When fit, he was mustard, but how many? He was good a lot of the times. How many times was Partey great?
People forget his performances in the 22-23 season before he got injured. People forget. I heard people saying he was the best midfield player in the league. They did run that. Those performances turned us from a team that struggled for top 4 to a team that should have won the league.
And Raya, and Timber have all signed new deals or in the process of such as well. It's mad.
So when I look at players who moved the wheel, who turn us into a top team. Because let's face it, as much as I'm critical of the manager, I'm not a pork chop. I know we're a good side. I know we're good.
Yeah.
But I just don't think he can make us champions.
That's his question. Can he get over the line now?
Yeah. I'm not. You think I'm going to go like a pork chop and say we're shit? What credibility am I going to have if I say that?
No, we're not shit.
You know what I mean?
He just needs to get over the line. Well, you know what? We actually haven't even spoken about Liverpool or anything, man. Like, we're top of the league.
I thought this was an Arsenal show. I thought this was an
Arsenal show.
No.
But how are you not feeling about the title? Because Antonio said, "What thing do we have to improve in order to win the title?" Like, I thought it just made a bit of sense.
Win, make home games. Make Arsenal a fortress.
I've said, don't settle for nothing less than 3 points every home game.
Yeah.
You've got to get 3 points every home game. Then that gives you a little safety net that when you do play away, if you do drop points, as long as you know you're winning your own games, that's fine. Also, this manager has got to stop trying to be something that he's never going to be. Sometimes you've got to keep it simple.
Don't you think he's been doing that? He's playing Eze in the roles supposed to.
And play to the squad's strengths. Not trying to think that he's someone really, 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 really special and complicate things in big games. Because he's got a habit of complicating things in big games.
City, 1,000,000%.
Doing something crazy in big games. And we're falling short. So he's got to stop all that nonsense. Keep it basic. Let the players play. And let them work out their own strengths sometimes in games. And he doesn't do that sometimes. He makes it all too regimental, and the players don't let them. The players get bogged down with too many systems. They're overcoached sometimes, and that's what he's got to stop doing. So
at least in the final third, just let them play, man.
And also, it's a mental thing, because when you finish runners up 3 seasons running, and you haven't won a trophy. It becomes a mental thing as well. Psychologically, the players, when they get to that stage, it's all right at the moment, 7 games in, top of the league, they're not at that stage. But it will get to that stage where games will be crucial. And that's when the psychological things comes into play. Because then players start thinking, do you remember this time last season when we dropped 3 points and we fell behind? They've got to get over that. They've got to have a belief that they can actually win it as well. And that will only be tested.
I'll be real.
That will only be tested in big moments. And the manager will be tested in big games as well. And that will only be tested in big games. It won't be tested at home to West Ham or, teams like that. It will be tested when we have to go away to Tottenham, when we have to go to the Etihad. When we play Liverpool at home, that's when it'll be tested.
And any game in April, really, April, May.
That's when it'll be tested. The running. If we're 5 points clear and 4 games to go, you've got to win them games. That's when the mental block will come into these players because they've been there before and failed. That's why I said it's important we win the Carabao Cup. Because that Carabao Cup will come early in the season. And if we win that, then they know that they've tasted success.
It's a bit of a boost.
And it will give them the confidence that in those big moments towards the end of the season, it will give them the confidence to go all the way. That is why disrespecting the Carabao Cup could be this club's wrongdoing.
Do you think do you two think people are sleeping on Manchester City? Because a lot of it is being said about us. We're now the bookies' favourite, apparently.
Only Man City, though. I don't think.
Feels like City just quietly going about their business.
Listen, there's other teams that are going to be harder than Man City and Liverpool.
For us,
the weight of Brighton's going to be a tough game. Palace is going to be a tough game when we go there. Spurs. I hate.
Our last game of the season.
It's going to be a tough game this season.
Our last 2 away games of the season.
Yeah.
Our last 3 games.
West Ham away.
Burnley, then Palace, last game home, game of the season away from home.
I know. Yeah.
But the problem is that I think with Arsenal, he asked a very good question because when Man City lost against Brighton, prior to that, we said it's a three-horse title. It's a three-horse race, and we were the third favourites. And then Man City lost to open Tottenham. Annually, they do that anyway. And then they lost to
their bogey team.
Yeah, and they lost to Brighton the week afterwards. They lost to Brighton, I think, the week afterwards. And then we went, right, all bets are off. They're out of the title race. Since then, they came to the Emirates where we expected to smash them, and we were hanging on. We're the ones who got the equaliser in the last minute, not them. And I hear what you're saying, DJB. Haaland and Donnarumma have moved. Haaland can't stop scoring. Donnarumma is the best goalkeeper for me in Europe.
And what you just said
at both ends.
What you just said when you picked out your three, Kenny, it's players that make an impact in the team, and Donnarumma and Haaland made an impact for City.
Yeah. And you think about it, Doku knows full well that if he gets in behind the defence and puts it through, Haaland's going to score. You know, he is for me the sole reason why I think, you can't discount Man City. I think their game against Liverpool next month is going to be a proper test. You can't write off Liverpool because they won their first 5 games. They've lost 2 games in the last seconds of injury time.
They've been owed that though.
And they have been owed that, but essentially what's killing Man City and Liverpool is their inability to kill teams off, their inability to game management. Where what's keeping us on top of the table is our defence.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying, Kenny. You can't rely on defence. I mean, you need a solid defence because we see it under George Graham and managers like that. But
the game's
changed. It will only take you so far. And this is what we said earlier on in the stream. You know, because unless we are scoring goals, and this is why I'll come back to York. This is the reason why we signed a number 9, because in big games, when it really matters, February, March, April, you need your strikers scoring goals. You need goals from all around the pitch. All the teams that have won Premiership titles have always had players.
They always have players that kick into form as well around them kind of times. It might not even be the main guys.
Lampard's used to chip in with loads of goals, and Chelsea teams used to score from everywhere. Liverpool, they had people chipping in with goals last season. Man City have over the years. You can't just rely on a good goalkeeper and a good defence. It'll win you games, but it's not gonna catapult you forward to all the time. You are gonna get caught out.
And we know what we're getting from our defensive players than our attacking players.
Yeah, really. Yeah. And listen, and you've got to address it. We have got players that have had horrific injuries, so squad rotation is going to be key.
No, what do you not make of Odegaard? What do you make of Odegaard then, DJB? Because I actually feel he was. I don't want to go as far as to say he was going to, prove people wrong, but he was finding his feet before once again. Obviously, another injury, very different.
Do you know what? Right, for once, I'm gonna say it. I actually felt sorry for him, to be honest. Because
it's sad.
Yeah, I felt sorry for him really because he came back against Olympiacos. He showed some good things. It looked like he had a new role within the team with Eze in the team. It looked like he had a little bit more freedom. And it looked like he started to make things happen with his passing and that. And then he got injured against West Ham, a challenge. We all know that players don't know how to tackle these days. They've lost the art of how to tackle these days, so it's always going to happen. And then he went down. I thought it was something like a dead leg or something because he played on. I thought, looking at the challenge on the screen where I was sitting and for how far away I was, I didn't think it was that serious. I thought it was like a dead leg and he'd run it off. And I think at first, that's probably what the bench thought. They probably thought he'd run it off. But then when he went down, he should have been taken off straight away. The manager should have said, no. Yeah, but boss, I want to play. No, I don't care.
Save him from himself now.
You're coming off. Yeah. Especially when the manager knows he's got a history of players being injured. Why would you take that risk? So I didn't understand that. However, I just felt sorry for I feel sorry that he's injured, to be honest, because I would have liked to seen him with Eze, him and Eze in the same.
We finally
team.
got what we wanted in the game, and then
that's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see Eze in the 10. I wanted to see Odegaard in a more kind of free role, and then I wanted to sort out the left-hand side as we go along. We make that up as we go along. Is it true? I think they flip a coin. Heads or tails. Heads Trossard, tails Martinelli. That's how it is on the left.
Just bring me Semenyo, man, in January.
You know
or the
what I
summer,
mean? Because I said Semenyo 2 seasons ago and got laughed at.
And now I probably would have laughed at me 2 years ago.
I said Semenyo over Rodrigo and got laughed at.
Hey guys, sorry, Kate. I had to sort of like, I had my ear against the wall with this conversation. We had a debate yesterday on Dan's show, and it was basically it started off with D.
I knew you was going to say it. He's the biggest.
I couldn't get there yesterday.
It was a case of like it was actually it started off with who rates Semenyo, he didn't rate Semenyo, and it got to who was better between Semenyo and Rodrigo, and it got to who was better than Semenyo, and I think it was whether Semenyo could play for Real Madrid. One said they couldn't, and one said they could.
I saw that between Lee and Stricto.
Yeah. And it's a very good question, because I didn't get involved because I was too busy like thinking, you know,
I was enjoying the show.
I was too busy enjoying it. But here's me with Semenyo. I did get with Semenyo. He's in fantastic form. But the question we always ask yourself, the question we always ask yourself,
can he step up?
It's not even that, because I think he can. Is it form that is temporary, or is he class that is going to be forever?
Well, one answer to that. He was bought. He hasn't tailed off from last season. He hit the ground running at the beginning of last season.
He joined them in 2023, and he's got better year in year out.
Dropped. So he went the whole of last season carrying Bournemouth and playing well for Bournemouth, scoring goals, assists. And
he won't be at Bournemouth like next season.
What I'm saying is he started this season exactly the same. So
and look at the variety in goals. How he spagged against Liverpool. He's finished at the weekend. Free kick.
This is what I'm saying. It's not a fluke.
Would he be able to sort of like make the transition to us? Because
the problem is though, Kenny, my biggest problem, right? And people are going to go, oh, here he goes. He's going on about the manager again. But a Mikel Arteta Semenyo would be totally different to a Bournemouth Semenyo. An Areola Semenyo and a Mikel Arteta Semenyo are two different worlds. Because the way Arteta plays, he's tactically the way Arteta plays won't suit Semenyo. We're seeing it with Gyökeres. We see it with Martinelli when he plays on the left.
Do you see that with Eze?
We're seeing it in parts with Eze.
To be fair, I think he's unleashed Eze a bit now. If I'm honest, like,
you know, Eze needs to get what I'm trying to say is this is what I'm saying is so. I don't think it's the fact that whether Semenyo can step up, because if Semenyo was in a different team, he wouldn't be any different. But Semenyo coming to Arsenal and what the role he would have to play at Arsenal, tracking back and covering Calafiori.
Everything he does at Bournemouth, including that.
He's a Ghanaian. He's not an England international. So what about African Cup of Nations for future?
Yeah, that's the only problem, isn't
it? He's been there before, man.
But what you got to remember as well, though,
if he's our top player, but this season he's at Bournemouth, but in he's with us next season, and it's a 28 African Cup of Nations. The same question remains: we're going to lose him.
Yeah.
But
also, what you got to remember is Rodrigo will probably come on big wages, whereas Semenyo would come on lesser wages and probably would get him cheaper than Rodrigo.
And being devil's advocate, how do we know Rodrigo will? Because let's have it right. You're leaving Real Madrid where you've made the difference, you've done your thing, but you're coming to Arsenal. We're going to kind of live or die by your performances. How do we know he can carry us like that?
But I can see where you're saying. He ain't going to come now. We've missed the boat on Rodrigo.
Yeah, no, Rodrigo's done.
But people are forgetting one thing, right? This manager signed Madueke. Semenyo ain't coming to the club because when Madueke's fit, It's either him playing on the left or Saka playing on the left.
What, you think Semenyo can't take Madueke's spot?
No, because everyone was gassing up. Hang on a minute, DG. All your Arsenal fans were gassing up Madueke after his first 2 games for the club, saying, "Oh, what a signing! How brilliant is he?" Now,
but what's the
he's
difference
injured. They're
between both of
gassing
them,
up
though?
Semenyo.
But D, what's the difference between both of them, though? Because I think Madueke's done well. Semenyo's getting goals. Madueke isn't. That's the one thing with Madueke.
I said right when we was saying about Rodrigo, and I said, why don't we go and get Semenyo from Bournemouth? And everyone was going to me, well, you'd rather Semenyo than Rodrigo, and I went, yeah, because he's more doable. Because it's realistic. It's probably more realistic in the summer getting Semenyo than it was Rodrigo. That's why I wanted Semenyo, because it was more realistic of getting him. We was never going to get Rodrigo. We was never going to get Rodrigo, but we had a chance of getting Semenyo. But once again, the club went for the other option because of the Chelsea thing and everything else. We went with Madueke. By signing Madueke, didn't open the door for Semenyo or Rodrigo. It stumped us. That was
It'd have been lovely with Semenyo.
That was it. The minute we signed Madueke, we weren't getting a left-sided midfielder. That deal was off. Whether it was Semenyo, Rodrigo, Lookman, done. Now he has signed Madueke, he's now got to make that work. So there'll be no left wingers coming to Arsenal in January. I
don't think we're going to sign anyone in January anyways.
No. Madueke has got to work like Havertz has got to work. Now we've signed Madueke, that has got to work. So when he's back fit, I can see him, and people are going to say I'm mad here, but we did see Saka switch sides
against Olympiacos.
And Saka can play on the left, and he has played on the left. I can see him in certain games, perhaps playing Madueke on the right and Saka on the left, and vice versa.
Do you mean like switching, or do you mean like they're legitimately pigeonholed?
Yeah, I can see him rotating quite a bit.
Yeah, I don't mind that in game.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. I can see that happening. But what really concerns me, though, and we'll go on the whole thing, is we were going to sell Martinelli and Trossard in the summer. If the right offers would have come for them, they wouldn't have been at the club. Let's get it right. Martinelli would have been sold. Trossard would have been sold. Oh, yeah. So how comes these 2 players against Olympiacos are getting a shout over Weri? Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, but the thing is, DJB, are they getting a shout over Weri, or are they getting a shout over Max Dowman?
Both. But I say Weri, Kenny, because he's further in his development.
He's further up. He's further up.
He's further up.
Weri's seen as a winger anymore, or an option.
But this is my concerns. You know, when we talk about the squad and all of that, and that's why I said Weri will probably end up not having much of a future at this football club, because as much as it pains to say me, he's not really getting the chance. He's only getting the chance when it's absolutely safe. When we're 2-0 up against the likes of West Ham, that's not shown any ambition. If it's absolutely safe in one of the Champions League games against less opposition and we're 2 or 3-0 up, if it's absolutely safe at home against Burnley, if we're winning 3 or 4-0, Weri will get minutes.
But what if that's his role, though, D?
But he won't be trusted.
Is that bad?
It's not a role that you want an 18-year-old to have with all that future, is it? That's a selfish Arsenal. That's us being selfish, isn't it? To want him just to play. You know, if you want this kid to develop and be a real top player,
he's one of the managers to put his hat on and say, "You got 5 to 10. 10's an exaggeration, but you got 5 games at the end of week 5. Show me some."
I just think he's better off going out on loan, and I've always said this, because he ain't going to get much shout at Arsenal. As much as we want him at Arsenal, and all the Arsenal fans going, yeah, but you were saying about squad depth. Well, even with squad depth, he ain't going to get it. Once Havertz comes back, and once Odegaard is fit, there's your squad depth. It ain't Weri. It ain't Weri. He's about 5 or 6 choice.
Weri, please prove him wrong.
You know what? I think I hear what you're coming from. We have to assume like there's going to be injuries. Well, we'd have to assume there's going to be injuries, and we just have to keep our fingers crossed that there's still mileage in him. And I still think that he can get games, but I will be worried if we get to certain parts of the season. I think, hang on there, why isn't he getting games? The problem is
January big decision to make. To be fair,
the stumbling block is, I say it now, the stumbling block is Eze, because because I don't like Eze on Weri on the wings. I like him in the position. No. I like him in the Odegaard positions. One of them can play. But what we can
what about
do,
Odegaard, Eze, Rice, Weri,
but what we can do with Odegaard out the side, there's nothing to stop us from playing a team similar to the one we played against West Ham, where we can have Ranieri, Eze, Declan.
No, but Kenny, that's what I said to you at the start. I don't think Ranieri's in them conversations yet.
There's nothing to stop us, because we all know Declan's not fit. Let's face it.
He went back straight to bringing Zubi in.
So why can't we play Zubi, Eze, and Wanyeri for certain games?
Yeah, I can't lie. If there's no Rice, I'm not confident right now. I don't think it's to run the games. We need Rice.
How far are you going to go to play an injured player?
He's not injured, man. He ain't told me.
What we could do,
he's in the England squad.
I know he's in the England squad, but he has to come off against West Ham.
Yeah, I don't think
he probably had that forever.
I'm hoping he don't play for England. I'm hoping he's benched or something.
Nah, Saka and Rice.
I'm just telling you guys categorically, Declan Rice is going to get a serious injury because he's not fit. I'm saying it without any prejudice.
Yeah, true.
Squad rotation's
key. Squad rotations.
Yeah, but you've all seen our fixtures. Where's that rest for Rice coming? Because I'm sure we're all playing him against Fulham. We're all definitely playing him against
Brighton in the League Cup. Brighton in the League Cup.
I don't even know if I'm on that because I want to win that.
Who's Brighton going to play their best team?
That's their business. I want to play my best team.
Yeah, but
Brighton's not a team. You don't know yourself. Brighton's not a team you can fuck about with.
You have a strong 11 without Declan Rice in it.
I'll tell you what, though, if Gyökeres don't start pulling up trees, mate, I'd play Martinelli down the middle. I would. That's number 9.
What do you not make this on screen?
You know my view on Gyökeres. This is what I think with Gyökeres. I think Gyökeres should play every game, regardless of whether it's a League Cup game or not, so he can get his confidence. I think the guy
he needs confidence.
Rhythm. That's why I was always for him playing against Port Vale. I wanted him to fill his boots.
Strikers are weird, man. They need to keep scoring or they stop feeling like they're good. They start second guessing themselves and all that.
If there's one player who should not be left out, is him, because if he's the main man, he needs to have consistent amount of games in order to find his rhythm, get in tune with what we play. And he has, because I'll tell you one thing: if he gets a game where he fills his boots, that could take him on a run where he'll be prolific.
Yeah. I hope so, man.
You're Cristiano Ronaldo, right? You know the reasons why he goes on his big scoring runs. Not so much Messi, but him. It's because there's always a fixture where Cristiano, for international level and club level, where he'll have a fill your boots match, and he'll fill his boots, and then he goes on a run and scoring goals because he's had what I call a fill your boots game. I think Gyökeres could do a fill your boots game.
Yeah, definitely. I'd have started him in the. I'd have started him in that Carabao Cup game.
Same here.
Because one thing strikers need to boost their confidence is goals. And what better to start at Port Vale game? He should have started in that personally to give him the confidence. But yeah, I mean, it's nice to have the squad depth. It's nice to have the choice, but I keep hearing about the quality of the squad and how good our squad depth is. We have got a better bench. We have got better squad depth. But if you take out key players in that midfield, You know, I'm a little bit on the. I'm a little bit on the fence.
Starting to cook. I hope you lot are watching.
I'm a little bit on the fence with it. You know what I mean? I really
He's gonna convince you, man. Trust me. By May, DJB, you'll see it, man. Trust me.
Yeah, no, I've seen it before then. I mean, look, so far so good. I mean, of course, I'm glad we're top of the league. I've not seen a real, truly outstanding performance yet. Not in Forest.
West Ham. You don't think he pulled out off the bench?
No, I thought not the Forest was a good game.
He pulled out off the bench.
But I think what's happening right now.
Forest is well.
Yeah, but you know what it is? It's a marathon, not a sprint, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It can all come good. Good.
Sprint. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Remember Kevin Keegan's team in 98, 95, 96? That team, for me,
hang on, I've got
one of the best footballs I've ever seen.
There's madness in the chat at the moment, Kenny. SLD is saying Zubimendi is like a shorter Zidane.
Come on, SLD,
you've obviously never seen Zidane play on a day-to-day basis.
You know what? You always need a troll.
I'm telling you now. Zubimendi would even listen. That is
nowhere next to Zidane.
Yeah, what you need to do now is go to A&E. Right, you need to go to A&E and just say,
"I think concussion, man."
With respect, SLD. Come on, man. You can't even put Zubimendi.
He's definitely like trolling, isn't he? He's trolling.
You can't even put Zubimendi and Zidane on in the same sentence.
He was getting on to me for being unhappy that Chelsea actually beat Liverpool recently as well. I'm actually upset that Chelsea.
Yeah, but DG, your hate for Chelsea is quite deep.
Yeah. I want to do it another way.
If your hate of Chelsea, you remember that the team you used to really hate is the team that's next door to you virtually.
I hate them as well. I didn't cheer on Spurs when people wanted them to beat City.
Who do you hate more?
I hate everybody that's not with us. I hate both of them.
Who do you hate more?
Chelsea. You know what? If I'm completely honest, it should be Chelsea because it's a bit of.
Why? Spurs, they're not our rivals. Tottenham are our rivals. What's Chelsea? Chelsea nothing do me.
They win everything.
They did everything that we should have done before them.
That's irrelative. The fact is that
they won the champs before us twice
because they got better players than us.
That's why I hate them. That should have been us. The whole specialist in failure, the whole thing Wenger was against. Remember, I'm a Wenger baby.
No, I understand. I hate them. No, DG's hate for Chelsea is deep.
Yeah.
Deep,
I hate Spurs equally. I fucking hate Spurs, but it's
Spurs,
bro.
Chelsea. Who would you want to win?
Both can lose. I got no skin in the game. Both play yourselves.
I think he'd be back in. No, I'm going to call it.
If it came to it, Chelsea.
Oh, I don't know, DG. I don't know, man.
In fact, DJB, as I said that and you said that, I'm
Chelsea not my rivals. Chelsea not my rivals.
I think secretly you'd like Spurs to beat Chelsea.
Never.
Even that, no, man. Fuck Spurs. I couldn't even go that far. That's what I think both.
Never.
That's a good question.
Sorry, can I ask you one question though?
That's too difficult, you know.
All right, this is a simple question. Why you guys haven't left the country? Yes, that Chelsea have won 2 Champions Leagues. I tell you now for a fact, if that lot win a Champions League, you won't be podcasting ever again.
My rivals are Man United.
You will never podcast again.
I hate Man United, but it's more of a not a friendly rivalry, but there's a level of admiration for what they did. I genuinely hate Chelsea.
The Champions League. You won't be able to tolerate. You will not tolerate that, and you will.
Yeah, and that's why, as much as I don't like Liverpool, I have to applaud them because they saved me from that conversation when they beat Spurs in the final.
Humiliation if Spurs won a Champions League before us. Can you imagine?
We've both been to the same amount of finals. We need to
the arguments you'll have that you'll always lose because they always bring up the big one with the big ears.
Exactly. I must admit, I'm starting to hate City, you know, not to these lots levels, but I'm actually starting to have a lot of dislike for City, not because of the fans or the club or the manager.
Do you know what it is with me and Chelsea and Man City? Is I knew them when they were kind of a nothing club. I never when I used to go and watch Arsenal years ago. Before all the money got invested in Man City and Chelsea, they were
they were little, man.
They were mid-table. When Arsenal's fixture against Man City, I never used to worry about. It was
just
like
tearing Danny Mills
2 points at the time, 3 points at the time. They was never a threat. Never a threat. Chelsea weren't a threat. They might have gone on a cup run. Chelsea was never kind of a threat years ago. Spurs wasn't.
Yeah, but you're at Tottenham.
The main threats of Arsenal, Kenny, wasn't it? And you'll agree with this, were Liverpool, Man United, Nottingham Forest back in the day, were under Cloughy, right?
Okay,
these were all the main threats to Arsenal, not Chelsea or City.
You can ask one question about Tottenham, though. Didn't you find it humiliating and irritating when the Poch was there, where they were clearly better than us? Clearly, it wasn't even a debate. You could talk about it.
The period around the power shift and all of that.
Team, they were better than us. It was embarrassing.
Last season hurt, Kenny. They were dreadful last season, and yet they won a European trophy.
Look at the meltdowns we had last season when they won a competition we weren't even in. And
European trophy.
Come on, just a kick or punch to the gut when they won that last year.
European trophy that this manager could not even win when he was in it.
To be fair, but we never had a run like them. We probably still would have bottled it. But look at their run. Look at that European run. I'm not using it as excuse. That's why I was
funny, right? DJ,
I'll take it with a bottle. 100%. Don't get me wrong, but bro, look how easy that run was.
Let's talk about the facts. DG, let's talk about the facts.
I'm not backing Arteta, by the way. He still would have bowled it.
Let's deal with the facts. We watched it at home and we were absolutely mortified and horrified. You were watching it in a studio with Spurs fans at Talk Sport.
How did you cope,
I can imagine your face when they won it.
I don't know.
So don't give me that, I don't care about Tottenham when everyone felt physically sick.
Do you want me to be honest, Kenny? The only time it didn't sink in at TalkSport, it sunk in when I got
and it sunk in and it pissed you off.
No, yeah, exactly. It sunk in when I got back to Edmonton and Tottenham, and I could see the fans going mad, and then the whole trophy parade.
That's a liberty. That's liberties.
It was a humbling experience because you're forgetting. I'm 30. I came into this kind of as a privileged Arsenal fan. There was a time I never ever saw Spurs finish above us. That happened. Okay, life's a bit different now. I know Spurs won the European trophy, but I'd never even think of that. They've won it now. Now I think like everything I thought that was stuff in football isn't there anymore. So yeah, no, the parade, like just seeing them all out there. That's when it's sunk in.
After all what you said, DG, if we don't win a trophy this season, that is definitely it for you with this manager.
Yeah, no, Arteta has to get silverware because I believe you're good enough to get it. If you don't get it, we have to change course and do something else.
I'll be
I just want silverware. I think we're closer to it than the other way. So we need to do this. I'm not on the second year stuff all the time.
You know what I think in terms of our silverware?
This guy's a troll.
The fact is that it's you. People were saying, "Oh, why?" People, I was on the show with Gabriel last week. He couldn't understand the caution. He couldn't get it. I mean, the guy couldn't get the fact we were cautious. Where we've been down this road before, we've had better Arsenal teams, and he couldn't understand. He thought our caution was because we didn't want to win. He didn't say it, but that was his.
Big up a gal, but come on, man. There's a lot of football to be played.
No, don't get me wrong. He didn't say it. He saw it as pessimism and a stick to beat the manager with when it wasn't. The fact is, at Arsenal, is that we can't put these players in sort of like alongside their greats because they haven't won anything. And the reason why they haven't won anything is simple. Mentally, when it comes to the pressure games, despite the fact that they're physically built for pressure, mentally they're not. And that's just facts. Because history has showed us the reason that has been the case.
Do you want me to have an unpopular opinion, Kenny, on that?
Yeah.
I think from what I've seen in the last 2 years, I think the players are. I don't know if the manager is.
You think the players have got mental scars?
I think they've got scars, but I think they're mentally strong enough. I think it's
who gets the blame when that happens? It's not the players.
Unfortunately, this is the nature of football, isn't it? Like it's got to lie with the manager. Like it's got to lie with the manager. And I can only speak for myself. Dave.
His CV. You got to remember one thing, right? Arteta could be another like who's the guy? You remember the guy who managed Chelsea 2018, 2019 for one season? He beat. Was that?
Did you say AVB? You talking about him?
No, Chelsea, Italian guy. Sorry.
Oh shit! Yeah, I just clocked the year talking about. Yeah,
sorry. Sorry. That when they beat us in the Europa League, that's his first ever trophy he's ever won. You know that? No, seriously. Yeah,